Thank you, Dr. Vishal. I'm thankful for inviting me to participate in this FDP that you are organizing. And good afternoon, every participant. It's really a
Sir,
pleasure and privilege.
one more
Huh?
thing. Please
Huh.
open the chat window in the right side, sir, so that you can see the things. But sir, the fifth option is chat. Sir, fifth
मेरी
one.
यहाँ नजर नहीं आ रही है.
सर वो आएगी, अभी क्लिक करेंगे तो आ जाएगी. आप एक बार क्लिक करिएगा फिफ्थ वाले पे.
फिफ्थ वाली नजर नहीं आ रही ना.
1 2 3. सर वो ऊपर चली गई होगी. देखो ऊपर तो नहीं आ रही वो मेन्यू, जो 6 मेन्यूज होते हैं वो.
नहीं, ये फुल स्क्रीन स्लाइड मोड में कर दिया, वो नजर नहीं आ रही.
सर वो मेन्यू आते हैं ना, जहाँ पे माइक होता है, कैमरा होता है,
हाँ.
वो वाला नहीं आ रहा है.
नहीं.
नहीं नहीं, यहाँ पे नहीं आएगा सर. ये तो आप पीपीटी वाली ऑप्शन में चले गए.
मीटिंग वाली ये मीटिंग ऑप्शन है ना. ये पार्टिसिपेंट है.
हाँ, ये जो
ये
चैट
मोर
विंडो आ रही है
ऑप्शंस
ना
हैं.
सर. हाँ जी, ये चैट विंडो आपकी उसमें आएगी सर, पीपीटी के राइट साइड में.
अब ये आ गया ना. रिकॉर्डिंग कर रहे हो क्या?
हाँ, रिकॉर्डिंग हो रही है सर.
तो मेरे को इसे कॉपी दे देना.
ठीक है सर.
यार क्या करें, ये वीडियो ऑन है.
सर शेयर कंटेंट पे क्लिक करो एक बार.
कर दिया, लेकिन वो तो म्यूटेड है. शेयर कंटेंट नॉट अवेलेबल. मे बी कोड 9,000 पार्टिसिपेंट्स.
नहीं सर, अभी शेयर कंटेंट पे क्लिक करना आप एक बार.
किया.
अभी स्क्रीन 1 पे क्लिक करो सर.
स्क्रीन
1.
स्क्रीन 1 कौन सा है इसमें?
सर शेयर कंटेंट पे जाके.
नहीं, शेयर कंटेंट तो मेरा हो रहा है ना ऑलरेडी.
नहीं सर, वो बंद हो गया. शेयर कंटेंट जो हुआ था सर, वो चला गया.
शुरू से करके देखें.
सर आप थर्ड ऑप्शन है ना, शेयर कंटेंट, उस पर क्लिक करिए एक बार.
नहीं, वो मेरा म्यूट है यार. वो तो एक्टिव नहीं है बटन. वो तो मेरे ख्याल ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं उसको.
नहीं सर, यू आर प्रेजेंटर, वो नहीं आ रहा, मुझे नहीं दिख रहा वो.
मैं वही देख रहा हूँ. शेयर कंटेंट नॉट अवेलेबल, मे बी. यहाँ लिखा है मे बी पोर्ट 9,000 एंड TCP ATR ब्लॉक.
सर एक बार आप मीटिंग से एग्जिट होकर दोबारा एंट्री हुई करिएगा सर एक बार.
अच्छा.
केवल लीव मीटिंग क्रॉस पे आ रहा है सर, रेड वाला.
ग्रोवर सर गुड आफ्टरनून. एक बार वो ग्रोवर सर.
हाँ जी, आफ्टरनून.
गुड आफ्टरनून. एक बार वो यूआरएल के ऊपर भी पॉपअप विंडो देखिएगा. कोई ब्लॉकिंग तो नहीं दिखा रहा आपके यूआरएल के ऊपर HTTP के पास? अगर ब्लॉकिंग है तो उसको राइट क्लिक करके अलाउ कर दी.
नहीं, वो कोई मैसेज नहीं है.
अच्छा, आप लॉग आउट करके दोबारा करके देखें सर.
अच्छा.
होना चाहिए, हो जाएगा सर.
नहीं, हो जाए.
बिल्कुल होगा. सब हो रहा है ठीक ठाक, तो ये भी होगा सर.
एवढ्या वरच्या लेवलला कुठला आवाज पक्की आवाज पक्की असे लेक्चर द्यायला आलाय, क्या बात आहे.
ये- आ गया विशाल, आ गया.
आ गया सर, आ गया गुरुवर सर, आ गया.
अभी आ गया
ठीक है.
सर. फाइल में जाइएगा, ओपन चैट पे क्लिक कर दीजिए सर.
ऊपर कहाँ जाके?
सर फाइल
नहीं,
में
दिस इज साइन म्यूट वीडियो पार्टिसिपेंट्स. नहीं
पार्टिसिपेंट्स के बाहर वाली विंडो है सर.
सर ये जहाँ पे आपका शेयर आइकन है ना,
हाँ,
उसके राइट में पार्टिसिपेंट है और उसके राइट में चैट है. चैट को क्लिक कर दीजिए, आपकी चैट विंडो ओपन हो जाएगी.
चैट. हाँ हाँ, ठीक है.
वो कर दीजिए, आपको पार्टिसिपेंट्स के फीडबैक पता चलते रहेंगे.
हाँ, आ गया, कर
आप
दिया.
और हाँ, बस हो गया. अब आप,
अच्छा,
वी आर प्रिविलेज
आप
टू
देख पा रहे हैं सर?
ठीक ठीक है, ठीक है.
सर मैंने अभी टेक्स्ट किया, आप देख पा रहे हैं सर?
टेक्स्ट नहीं, अभी नहीं देख पा रहा.
चैट विंडो में दिख रहा है सर. आप, विशाल ने हेलो किया.
क्योंकि सर पार्टिसिपेंट्स की क्वेरी वहीं पे आएगी सर.
चैट विंडो आपका स्क्रीन पे किसी साइड में आया होगा, या तो पार्टिसिपेंट्स के साइड में आया होगा. थोड़ी देर के लिए आप पार्टिसिपेंट को क्लिक करके ऑफ कर दें, तो वो चैट विंडो फुल स्क्रीन फुल राइट पैनल पे आ जाएगा.
आ गया. मीटिंग रिकॉर्डिंग इन.
ये चैट विंडो में हेलो, गुड आफ्टरनून, ये सब दिख रहा है आपको?
तो छोटी सी विंडो होगी सर, राइट साइड में या लेफ्ट साइड में?
ग्रोवर सर, फिफ्थ ऑप्शन ब्लू कलर का आपको विजिबल होगा बॉटम में, जहाँ पे आपकी स्लाइड है, जहाँ पे म्यूट करने का है, माइक का, वीडियो का है, स्क्रीन शेयरिंग का है. तो फिफ्थ ऑप्शन फ्रॉम, इफ यू मूव फ्रॉम लेफ्ट टू राइट, यू विल सी ऑप्शन फॉर चैट ओपनिंग.
हाँ, चैट आ गया. चैट आ गया. चैट फ्रॉम डॉक्टर विशाल, राइट. ठीक है, चैट आ गया.
Yes sir. Now we can start sir.
Okay, now the screen is visible.
Yes sir.
Okay, right. Good afternoon, all participants, and thanks Professor Huda and Vishal for inviting me to participate in this and discuss with the participants about a methodology which is becoming quite popular now, and where there is a lot of emphasis from various organizations like AICT, MHRD, NBA on the methodology which is known as project-based learning. And I shall also be discussing with you project-based learning and how it helps to develop higher order thinking skills. Now, by After completing this lecture, I expect you all will be able to appreciate what is project-based learning approach and what are its salient features, and what is the difference between traditional doing project and PBLA. I will be calling project-based learning approach as PBLA. And you have been doing this project. We have been doing projects in our engineering classes, otherwise also. So I'll highlight what are the where we differ here. Then how can PBLA be implemented? Its limitation and requirements. What are the constraints that we come across? How students and teachers can be benefited by deploying project-based learning approach, and how PBLA can help foster higher order thinking skills among our students and teachers also, and how to assess project-based learning outcomes. Because teaching is important, no doubt, but assessment is also equally important, because here also there is a lot of learning involved. Just to recall a few things which many of you are familiar with, projects are integral part of all professional programs, as learning outcomes can be quite vast and varied. Students imbibe ability for applying knowledge in practice, ability for analysis and synthesis, problem-solving skills, information management, ability to work independently, creativity, and many more learnings are there involved in the projects. And that is why projects are an integral part of all our professional courses. In fact, if we just recall, roughly 1/3 of our teaching learning in the professional courses is involve projects, labs, and so on. So when we say project-based learning approach, what does it mean? What does it imply? Can we not say that projects that we are already doing are also project learning? Well, there is some difference which you will appreciate, and how this approach helps us to develop the capabilities of engineer as a implementer, as a doer. So project-based learning is an instructional approach. It's a method of teaching in which students get an opportunity to develop knowledge and skills by engaging themselves in real-life problems which they come across or may face in the real world. Yeah, one important feature of project-based learning is students are exposed to real-life problems. They are not classroom type or textbook type. Real life and real world problems are always multidisciplinary and complex. The why real life problems are important? Because they are complex, they are difficult, they are multidisciplinary, and student and their real life situations are also like this. Project-based learning is not just doing the project, but refer to the learning acquired by doing the project. So this should be appreciated. Project-based learning emphasizes the learning and assesses. PBLA is student-centric and implement the outcome-based education principle. Most of you may be familiar that project-based teaching learning has been made integral part by NBA for all its accreditation. Not only this, UGC, AICT, they are all emphasizing that our teaching learning should be student-oriented and project-based. So we know that you are all familiar with the saying, tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. This is 2,000 years old saying, which is so true in present day. But how can we do this? How can this be done? That is the issue. Now, another thing you may recall, that learning, how the learning is involved. See, the learning pyramid says we learn about 5% from the lecture, maybe 10% by reading ourselves, 20% by audiovisual, and 30% about from the demonstration. But when it comes to project learning and learning by teaching, it's 75%, 90%. So in project-based learning, it involves the principle of teaching each other, learning from each other. So the research also says that in order to be able to learn effectively, students must be exposed to the methodology, to the techniques of gaining knowledge themselves, imparting knowledge, and so on. So PBL involves real-life applications They are theme oriented. They are focused. They are done, projects are done in the context, and they are interdisciplinary and they are collaborative. That means there is normally, I would say, they are trying to bring in those features which are relevant to do these things. Just to recall how we have been doing the projects at present, because then you'll be able to appreciate the difference which comes. See, now the teacher role in the lab or in the project, he gives the knowledge. He imparts learning, controls the learning, and he uses ICT tool, is always expert, that is, he knows more than what the student knows and is student learning. But in the project-based learning, the student becomes a active learner, and teacher and student collaborate to do things. Teacher is a communicator, teacher is a facilitator and mentor, and student is a learner. We develop the habit of or develop the role of lifelong learner, because every time there's a new project and learning has to be different. Student is also not a passive learning. It's not that always teacher tells and student does what teacher wants it. Student himself has to do many things. He becomes the active learner. He not only reproduces knowledge, because normally we teach the student, he does it, but he becomes a producer of knowledge by involving him, following the method of project-based learning. So he becomes autonomous. He learns many of the qualities which are needed in the modern day problem solving. And the interesting thing is he develops a growth mindset. In the morning, you had heard the lecture by Dr. Goenka, and he was talking about something about mindset. We'll just look at how project-based learning helps us to develop growth mindset in the students. Next. So in order to implement our project-based learning methodology, we have to change our curriculum also. We have to change our delivery of the curriculum also. See, now it will not be that student only remember things and reproduces things. Our exercises are not going to be traditional exercises that are given at the end of the textbook. Now it is not that something the student will be doing repeatedly year after year. So in the newer approach, these things are placed in such a way that they focus on the outcome, they focus on the learning of the student. Now, how the new emerging environment can be managed? You all know very well how the learning environments are coming. See, in the internet age, in the ICT age, where student has so many resources of learning, student is so autonomous. Student doesn't bother with the teacher. You saw this morning lecture also. Student doesn't bother with the teacher, because if the student knows that teacher के हाथ में there are no marks, then you see how many classes come. Even now, there are only about 50% students who attend the classes. Why is it so? Because there are so many learning avenues, there are so many learning resources that student thinks he can do many things. Until a student is given a challenging assignment, he is involved in a challenging work, he finds it is no point in going and doing things repeatedly what has been done every year. So what we need to do is the changing environment, that is the internet age or ICT age or the globalization, need that we change our attitudes, we change our thinking about the purpose of education. Then the curriculum has to be designed like that. The implementation has to be done like that. So by educating and training our students in gaining not only knowledge, but also acquiring skills. Now, not only knowledge is important, skills are important, attitude, behavior, and other qualities of human being are important. Now, how can these be developed? The project-based learning approach is an instructional method which is dynamic and helps to imbibe these real-life skills in the student, because PBLA is a student-centric method of teaching. In testing, we all know what is a project. A project consists of a related and coordinated series of activities or tasks performed to realize a goal. What is a project? We can always say going to a lab is a project. Doing See, normally our project is understood that it has few related activities which students are required to do it. So project can be, categorized in two parts. One is structured project and unstructured project. The unstructured project, structured project, what we have been doing all the time. We are doing all the year after year, expected outcome. There is a lab is a, let's say, very small example of a project where we know what's going to come up. When we give solutions are known, what are the methods are known. So this is how structured projects are. And that's what we have been doing in our class. In all the classes, we are emphasizing this is the lab course. There are fixed experiments, there are fixed projects, and so on. The moment you give them a project which is not traditional or which is not being done, students get, he says he just cannot do anything, or he runs and his learning is hardly involved in that. The second type of project category is the unstructured project or open-ended project, have no predictable or prescribed solution. This is interesting. In unstructured project, we do not know what is the final going to be the answer. What is the roadmap of doing it? We have to search these things. Unstructured project require student to consider assumptions and constraints as well as to frame the project they are trying to evolve. Real life projects are unstructured projects, and unstructured projects need to be properly understood, need to be properly designed, need to be properly implemented. So there are many unknown factors which students have to find out, which maybe in consultation, in discussion with the teacher, or learning from the environment, or doing a lot of self-study. Unstructured project does require students to do their own structuring of the project, a process that has been shown to enhance student ability to transfer learning to other project solving contexts. The research suggests the students learn more from working on unstructured projects than doing on structured projects. This is interesting. So the real life project gives a lot of much more learning than we expect a student to get from the daily life project. So unstructured projects are complex and interdisciplinary. They require creating a problem solving skill. In order to do that, student has to be creative. You have to be here to learn these things. They are student oriented. That student find the advantage of doing those projects. He understands if he does these kind of projects, he will be able to use in real life. This will help them to learn many of the skills which are needed for real life. So involves self-directed learning, self-imposed learning. It makes them lifelong learners, out about thinking and how to learn. So excellent source of learning and imbibing various types of higher thinking skills is what one gains or one learns from the doing projects using the project-based learning approach. So PBL is most appropriate for unstructured projects. So for doing unstructured projects, abilities needed are analytical abilities, how to assessment or judgment abilities, evaluation, analytical capabilities, how to complete things, how to manage project, how to do creation, learning, unlearn and learn things. There are many newer things which may have to be learned. There is a lot of use of the previous learned like thing. So this is involved in the unstructured projects. So traditionally, when we do the traditional approach for doing projects is teacher has knowledge. He imparts, he tells everything to the student almost. See, I would say this happened in the case of maybe 80%, 90%. Student, his own self-involvement is there, but it may be only 10, 50% students. Otherwise, they depend when teacher has the knowledge, teacher give direction, what is to be done, student follow the direction, student learn facts by following direction, and student present the result, and that's ready. That's how the project is done. We never try to find out, or we hardly try to find out what has been the learning of the student in doing the project. Are they learning those skills? Are they learning those, developing those capabilities which are required in the real life? So the limitation of traditional projects which we do, they can be done by their own. They are of limited time. Teacher knows almost all these things, and the involvement of the tool is also very limited. So student does not learn how to solve problems. Student doesn't learn how to use a new tool. Student doesn't learn how to think differently doing a project. So these are the limitations of doing the traditional project. So in the PBLE approach, teacher poses a question, teacher suggests something, and let's say to ignites his thinking. He proposes certain things. Then student devise their own direction to solve problems. Students think of these things. See, many of then students test and revise their own directions. Students learn information and develop skills. Students apply their knowledge and skill to solve real world problems. So we find here the involvement of the student becomes very heavy. It is not that whatever teacher will say, student will be doing that. Until unless student come forward and implements all these things, he is not able to derive the full benefit of project-based learning approach. Now, project-based learning approach is being emphasized because this is where, as a professional, maybe engineer or a computer scientist, one need to imbibe these things. Because in the class, these things can only come. This is a slide which only gives you a feeling how these two approaches are different. And why do we need PBL? Why do we need project-based learning approach? So if a PBL requires collaboration and teachers' guidance, it's about learning the process. Please appreciate how to correct things, how to implement things. These are processes. In PBL, processes are emphasized. Student is looked at, real life problem, and student determine which method to use, which method not to use. So student responsible for their own learning, a clear purpose of all learning activities. That means that beforehand the student knows what kind of learning is going to do. The problem may be at the level of first year, second year, third year, or fourth year. The complexity will go on increasing. The requirement on the part of the student to learn goes on increasing. But it is clear to the student that what the learning goals are going to be. Balance support from technical point. He has get an opportunity of discussions in this report with experts in the field also. So real life project, let me give you some examples and illustrate. आप बहुत सारे टीचर ये हैरान होंगे कि ये सर इसमें मुझे कोई नई चीज नजर नहीं आ रही. अब मैं आपको बताता हूँ इसमें हायर ऑर्डर स्किल तो आएंगे भी और नई चीज क्या आती है. वी वांट ए इंजीनियर टू डिजाइन ए बैटरी रिक्शा. बैटरी रिक्शा आप नोट करें, मैंने स्पेसिफिक लिखा है बैटरी रिक्शा फॉर यूज इन शिमला. बैटरी रिक्शा दिल्ली में भी बन सकता है, चंडीगढ़ भी बन सकता है, चेन्नई भी बन सकता है. शिमला की क्या बात है. Now you see here, when it comes to Shimla, this means students start thinking what kind of battery, what kind of dynamo, what kind of gears, because Shimla is a hilly station. So in this project, it's not an academic project, it's a real life project. In this project, students start thinking, oh, now if I have to design a battery rickshaw for a place like Shimla, then I have to take into account the working of each of the component, the performance of each of the components, and think for what are the modifications required. That's where the use of battery, that where not only that, you will also be able to appreciate the local environment where things are going to work. Now see here, another project is that is the project water filtration system for Visakhapatnam. Why I'm saying Visakhapatnam? Why not water filtration can be in Jaipur also? It is, for example, they in Patna, they're same. But why Visakhapatnam? Because the water filtration system that's for Visakhapatnam need extra thinking, extra skills, extra design, because their water is sea water. See, a textbook, if this were not a real life project, we would have contended designing a water filtration system. But the moment we say Visakhapatnam, it imposes many more requirements on the part of the student to learn more things. So by bringing Visakhapatnam, he starts learning about those things which were not part of his curriculum, which were not part of his syllabus. but they are required to understand, to implement in order to be able to design an efficient water filtration system for that particular place. Please appreciate these are traditional projects do not give us these kind of things. So here learning involved is understanding, applying the basic design process, understanding basic, how many students, maybe professionals who understand design process, creative and critical thinking, project planning and management, time management, written communication, autonomous and confidence, become independent, developing confidence, making mistakes, learning from mistakes, awareness of cultural, ethical, economic, and social needs. Students become familiar with this. So these things are possible to learn when we bring in a real life project. So real life project bringing means the whole thinking of doing on the process of doing project gets let's say improved, gets better, and bring lot of learning things. So these are prerequisites of each of the project may be assigned in the appropriate semester. Now, how can this be done? This can be done only when the teacher involvement is there, when the student is want to do all these things, want to learn all these things. So PBL expects that the student will come up with a working model prototype of the real life world application. So there will be a outcome, an application, a prototype of what project is done. That is the expectation of a PBL approach. Otherwise, if we do not make student to learn these things, it becomes a traditional style. So emphasis should be appreciated. Some more example. Let me give some more example. Automated cough counting system for coronavirus detection. It is not there anywhere. When the moment start thinking about it, he learns so many things about sensors, about the transmission, and so on. Using image processing and RFID technology to automate detection of structural cracks in bridge structure, or solving the problem of negative and fake news. You know how many fake news are there? None of these there is in the textbook. But the moment you assign a problem to a student, he start learning those algorithms himself. He start finding out those things, and he comes up with. You have already seen many of our students have come up with quite good solutions for the problems which we are facing nowadays due to COVID lockdown. This is because there are students who can think independently. It's not like that. But the goal of PBL is why 10% student? Why not 80%? That means this is an instructional approach which builds these skills in the student. Larger the number of students who are trained in these who are trained on these lines, they will contribute to the society, they will contribute to this discipline in much better than otherwise. Now, how does this PBL transform the traditional approach? जो traditional approach है उसको हम कैसे change करते हैं? There is a project with no predetermined answer. There is an atmosphere that tolerates error and change. Error is allowed. If the student makes a mistake, कोई बात नहीं, mistake को ठीक करेगा. He will correct the mistake. The solution for correcting the mistake will not be in the textbook. It will not be known. It may be or may not be known. Even if it is known, he picks up from others. So there is an atmosphere that tolerates error and change. Students make decisions within a framework. Students design the process for reaching a solution. Students try to find a solution. Students have a chance to reflect on the activities. Assessment takes place continuously. A final product results and is evaluated for quality. The more they are, let us say, the student is made aware of the quality of this of the project completion, many more things. Then the inclusion of project in the syllabus course. We include a project in our syllabus. Everyone does it. Sir, हम project करते हैं. There is a project in our class. There is one semester class. But do we know what is the learning outcome from that? Do we ascertain how to assess what kind of learnings, how many learnings are there, what kind of learning are there? We are not assessing that. But that is there are many reasons for this, because we have been trained like that. This has been a tradition with us that project after project, same repetition, same kind of lab, etc. इसमें किसी का there is no fault of anybody. This is how our system has been moving. This is how we have been trained. You and I have been trained. This is how we are using it. But